No,
like not emotionally stable enough for this
Yeah.
now. I'm having a complete brain aneurysm.
Told me to sit down and told me I was a waste of space.
This year has absolutely destroyed me.
Yeah, it really just made me think about life in a much deeper way.
I hope no one I work with ever watches this. Cheers! I'm sorry, I need already. Okay, so we bought snacks. You go first.
These are bourbons. I used to eat them. I mean, I still eat them all the time now, but they really remind me of my childhood because I was the biscuit queen, as your family used to call me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You used to come to my house, and I don't know if I told you this, when we were like 10, 11, sometimes my mum would hide the biscuit.
What? From me?
Because sometimes you would eat all the biscuits. Not every time, just like if there weren't that many left, sometimes she would hide it, and then she would like stock up ready for when you came round.
Well,
So,
I
yeah.
used to get through them a lot.
I bought strawberry laces
Nice.
and Doritos. This is more just because they were at the airport and I fancied them. To be fair though, I still do hate potato chips.
Really?
Like they taste like garbage to me.
Crisps, you mean?
Yeah. Well,
Potato
no, but specifically potato ones.
What's it? What the only one potato?
So no, this is corn.
Are they?
Yeah, I literally my whole life I only ever liked Quavers, Skips, and Doritos, and then I realized one day they're all the corn based.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know.
So
that.
I specifically hate potato crisps.
Wow.
And strawberry laces, I have a sugar problem. And we used to go to Costco and buy like, there was a box like this big. And I don't know why, but my parents would let me just eat that entire thing
Really?
in a day. This is the snack that I bought. Oh yeah.
Also, we're cousins.
Oh yeah.
Did you happen to even introduce
I just assumed everyone would know that. I was like, yeah.
So I'm Lucy. This is Emily,
Emily.
and we're cousins. And
We used to live literally a road away from each other.
we lived on the same road growing up.
Oh yeah. For some reason I thought you were like round the corner. Okay. Give me a whole video of me talking with my mouth full.
It's so dry.
Have a drink. Drink some of your prop water. It's actually really not technically easy to be snacking
No.
while you do a podcast.
No, it's not.
Basically, we had a hell of a fucking year. Sorry, can I swear? We can beep. We didn't discuss if I could swear. We can beep it out. So we had a hell of a year. That brought us a lot closer by the end of it.
Yeah.
Because we went through a lot of stuff like together. When you're really little, you're really close with like your friends and your cousins because you have no filter. So there's no faking anything. Just you tell each other everything and you're as close as you'll ever be with another person. And then you hit your teens and you turn into like disgusting hormone-filled crazy people going through all your own crap. And then you like get some distance.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky, you'll like reconnect.
It's definitely like lucky that we found our way back to each other again. I was reflecting on this morning, and I feel like even though we had very different life paths and different stuff happened to us, I feel like we still somehow came to the same conclusion.
Yeah.
And we still have the same opinions on things, even though we took a very different path to get there.
But they were like parallel.
Yeah, it was really weird. I only started speaking about this because of the book that we've been doing. We did it wasn't even that we drifted away, because we still spoke, but just not as regularly and not as deeply, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
not
know.
as like honestly.
Yeah.
And I think it wasn't that we weren't honest with each other. I think it's that at that age, you're not like honest with yourself.
Yeah, we just don't know. You're
Like,
too
I don't
young,
know who
like,
I was.
No.
I look back sometimes at texts that I've sent, like sometimes I'll go back through like really old, like I'll scroll
Yeah.
really far. It's like,
Yeah.
who wrote this? Like, I
Yeah.
don't recognize this girl.
Yeah.
I don't like her. She definitely didn't like herself. And that's why, like, obviously you can't be honest with each other.
Yeah. We were honest in that moment to like the extent that we could be.
Yeah.
But we hadn't met ourselves deep enough yet. So how are we gonna like talk to each other about that?
Exactly.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
then last year, you posted about doing the artist way.
Yeah. Which was
And I
also
was
another
like-
really weird coincidence that you just picked the book up at the same time.
Yeah.
And we hadn't really like spoken about it.
Yeah, because was it that close to the end of the year?
Well, it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Were
It
we-
was December 23, right? No. What year are we in right
I
now?
don't. That would've been
24. Okay, December 24, I just remember feeling really anxious. I basically had like 3 weeks off work, and
Yeah.
I get really anxious when I don't have things to do and I'm not busy, but I was so burnt out that I wanted to have time off.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as soon as I had that free time, I was like, and I just was going a bit like crazy. And then my mum and my brother actually had done the Artist Way book before. They'd recommended it to me, and they gave it to me like 2 years ago, but it's been sat there for a while, and I always knew I wanted to do it, but I just never got around to it. And then something in that time, it's a new year, it's the start of a new year, new me. But I was like, maybe I'll just start it. And then you replied.
And I was like, me?
And you're like, me, I'm doing this. I was like, no way. And then, yeah, that kind of kickstarted everything.
So this time we were like, let's do a podcast and have an Artist Way segment so we can hold each other accountable.
The book is called The Artist Way, by the way.
Did we mention that? Like, maybe hold on.
It's here. It's this book. It's called The Artist Way by Julia Cameron, and it's basically a 12-week course to rediscovering your creative self. And even though it's called The Artist Way, it's not specifically for artists only. In the book, she kind of says that everybody is an artist. Like, whatever you create, you're an artist. And so you basically have multiple things to do. They give you tasks to do each week, and each week has a different theme as well. Oh my God.
For some reason, I knew you were going to look at me and I
was trying not to look at you because I knew it would make me laugh.
Sorry.
Sorry, you're just nibbling them like a little rabbit. Anyway, so yeah, each week they ask you to do different things, different tasks. But I forgot what I was going to say now, so we'll just move on.
Well, we need to discuss week one.
We do need to discuss week one. I'm actually just read the little thing off to you. So this week initiates your creative recovery. You may feel both giddy and defiant, hopeful and skeptical. Mm-hmm. The readings, tasks and exercises aim at allowing you to establish a sense of safety, which will enable you to explore your creativity with less fear. Mm-hmm. And within this book, each week they ask you to do an artist date, which is basically to take yourself out of the house somewhere on your own. It doesn't have to be anything art related, like a gallery or anything, but you just go... You go and do something that you enjoy, or you don't even have to leave the house. You just have to do something for yourself.
It's just like a dedicated period of time.
Yeah.
To explore, like, creatively.
Yeah, exactly, and not to do anything like work or anything like that. It's just there's no end goal or end result. It's
what
just
was
to do.
Your one this week?
This week, what did I do? Yeah, I went to a cafe. And I brought my book with me, and I sat down and read a book and had a tea, and then I went to my friend's yoga class afterwards, which was actually really nice. And that hour was so slow because I was just like enjoying. I got lost in the book a little bit that I was reading, and it was just really nice to.
Can you see laces in my teeth?
No. Can you see bourbons in my teeth?
No, you're fine. I'm literally, it's cemented to my gums.
Yeah, I know. I keep like having to clear my throat now because the bourbons are so dry.
Bad snacks.
That was a bad idea. What was your artist date this week?
I bought a mug for $5 from a bookstore in Canada, Indigo, if anybody knows what that is. It's not a thing here. It's like Waterstones, but I think better. And it's shaped like a cat, and it came with a little paint, like watercolor set, so you can paint it.
It's so cute.
And I had like this whole vision, but honestly, it looks like a 5-year-old painted it. I don't even care that I need it. So on Monday, that was this week. What day is it? It's Thursday, right?
Thursday. It's Thursday.
I literally flew here yesterday. So I lost yesterday, and I kind of lost the day before as well because like we gain time when I lose time when I come here. I had one day at home where I was like trying to work and I had to like fit in my artist day that day because I knew I wouldn't have any more time. So I just took an hour off work and did it then. And it is just like so peaceful because for me, like I'm normally doing like 3 things at once. I have my phone, I have the TV. Normally, even on my phone, I'll be like playing a phone game while I have like a little screen playing like someone's TikTok live, and I'll have the TV on.
Really?
Yeah. So there's always like 10 lines of thought. So just to sit down and do something that makes me feel like a kid again, I'm like, this is cute. This is really nice. Because artist dates were the things I struggle with the most.
Yeah, same. The first time I did it, because I remember the very first few weeks when I started doing the book, and I was just like, okay, I need to think of an artist date, and I literally struggled so much because I also wanted it to be nothing to do with my job, which I'm a yoga teacher and I host retreats and lots of wellness things basically, and I do a lot of wellness things all the time, and even though I love wellness things, I just wanted the artist dates to be something different from them. I wanted it to be completely like just fun and really unrelated to work. So I sat down and I was like, what do I enjoy doing that's not wellness or yoga? And I couldn't think of anything. I was just so stuck for ages.
The whole point of this book is mainly to unblock yourself as a creative, but it does that by kind of getting you back in touch with who you were, like
discovering
originally, like your inner
yourself.
child.
Yeah.
Just said like, what do I even enjoy? As a 5-year-old, I didn't need to ask myself what I enjoyed. There was like so many things I was excited to do.
Yeah.
Next week for my date, I think I'm gonna go to the aquarium.
Really? Oh, cute.
Yeah, because I just like found that really like magical as a kid. So I'm like, let's just keep it really basic.
Yeah.
And just do things I wouldn't normally do for the fun. So yeah.
Yeah, as kids, I feel like we were so creative as kids. We were obsessed with writing scripts and filming movies. Because of the Artist Way, we've been having FaceTimes quite regularly, which were always nearly 2 hours long, pretty much, and were basically podcasting themselves.
Yeah.
And we felt like we talked about some interesting stuff, so I was like, you know what, I feel like we'd do a good podcast together. So I just threw the idea out there. And it's just really cute because I think we've gone full circle from that moment when we were kids, wanting to create movies, and now we are actually creating something. Like, obviously it's kind of a movie. It's a YouTube movie.
Same vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
Bit of a step down from, back when we were pop, what's the word? I'm having a complete brain aneurysm. Pop stars.
Basically, it was like me, Emily, and her sister Rosie, and we came up with the initial idea. I can't remember what our names were. Basically, there were 3 names that all began with K, and we were like, oh my god, this is great. We're going to call ourselves a Triple K.
We were like 7,
we were like
8.
We were like 6, 7. We were just not like aware of what that meant at all. And we went to tell our parents, I remember, and we were like, we're going to be called the Triple K, and they're like,
it's a bad idea.
So then we changed it. We were then Triple A, and but we'd already made the jingle.
Triple A though is such a battery name.
I know.
That just occurred to me now that it just sounds like a battery.
Yeah, it only occurred to me whenever we were talking about this last, and I was like, why didn't no one tell us that the Triple A was a battery? Like, why did no one tell us that? That was insane. But yeah, it was obviously an upgrade from Triple K, so yeah, like it was, and this just kind of has lit us both up again, creating this, because I feel like we were so excited to get here today. I felt like a kid counting down to Christmas the last few days. I've been like, when is Emily gonna get here?
I mean, like, part of it for me is like we said, this year has been like hell.
Yeah.
Like, so much has happened. And just having like a space to just rant and get really like deep into the things that have like come up for us this year is so therapeutic. Yeah. Like, this is like therapy for me.
It is. It was, I thought, everybody I've spoken to whenever I speak to them about last year, they're like, it was an awful year.
Yeah, it's always like a universal opinion. Yeah. And like, there's something in the air.
But it's that whole snake.
Sorry, I got excited. I was just clapping. snake and horse. And also 1 and 9.
Yes, that whole thing. You can explain that because I'm quite bad at explaining
So the numerology of this. Okay, let's preface this with preface this with, we're both a little bit like woo-woo in the best way, and I think that's just like a fun way to live your life. So that's what we do. But I love the numerology, like the concept that every year, if you reduce it, so add all the numbers together until you have a single figure. So last year was 2025, so 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 5 is 9.
Yeah, I'm not good at maths.
So that was a 9 year. And this year is 2 and 2 and 6, which is 10, so 1 and 0, so 1. And the years go like that. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it starts again. So symbolically, it's like 9 is the end of a chapter, and 1 is the beginning of a new one. And it matched so well because also 10 years ago was 2016, which was another like
that was a good year.
Huge upheaval. Best year, but also everything changed.
Yeah,
like,
it did actually.
I dropped out of uni that year.
Did you?
I went travelling that year, and everything went crazy.
Oh wow.
So it fits. And I guess like the snake horse thing is the same timeline, it's just a different concept.
Yeah, it is, Like it's, I don't know that one, you have to explain that one. It's like shedding but it matches up with the whole numbers thing as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
We like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's cute.
So last year was snake.
Last year was a snake, and there was a lot of shedding.
Yeah.
There was a lot of shedding last year. I had jobs that I lost over the year, because I'm self-employed, so I work with a lot of different companies and people, and a lot in corporate. And when the world is not or doing well, it affects corporates, and the first thing they cut is like the wellness stuff or the yoga classes and things like that. So
which is insane, because that's literally when people are hanging by a thread, that's the one thing you shouldn't take away from them.
Yeah.
I moved to Canada.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so first off, I had just moved back in with my parents.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not going to get into that, but that wasn't easy. Because I needed to save money. Then in February I moved to Canada and was in an Airbnb while I was job searching. The job market is terrible. So I ended up trying to get a part-time job at a gym just to like keep the money coming in. Ended up being a full-time job that was killing me. Then moved into a new Airbnb, Then Nonna passed away.
Yeah.
So I had to fly back. I quit my job. I flew back again. Then I lived somewhere else. Then I managed to get a software dev job. And then I finally managed to get a rental. So I've lived in 5 places and had 2 jobs.
That's
I'm
crazy.
very, very close to quitting this job.
Yeah.
So we'll see. This year has absolutely destroyed me.
Yeah.
And I think you're the same in that I have really bad delayed emotional processing. So as and when things are happening, I think I'm like coping. And then normally the trigger is one little thing goes wrong. I'll be fine through all of this. I could be going through trauma after trauma after trauma and I'm fine. And then my phone breaks and I will have a full-on breakdown.
Yeah.
It's nearly always just, or whatever I'm using as a distraction, if I lose that, I will like break down.
Yeah, it is hard.
So yeah.
Yeah, and that is one thing that kind of brought us a lot closer together as well. Not even a lot closer, but it was just like we were sharing that experience of grief when we lost our nonna, which is our grandma on our Italian side. But I think it was quite nice to have, because our family's quite close anyway, and I really valued that around that time because I feel like if we weren't close, it'd be very difficult it'd just be hard to cope with it because at least we could talk about it with each other. And I think us talking about that with each other also made us a lot closer as well, because it's not something that, I don't know if you have, but I haven't really experienced grief that much. And then, this one was just like, it's almost like I forgot that people could die, if that makes sense. I was just, my whole life, it's been so long since anything like that had happened, I just kind of forgot about it.
I also have a theory that, and it's crazy because there's like 2 things that you're certain of your whole life. You know that you're born and you know that you die. You know that everybody dies. But I don't think anyone's brain is actually capable of processing it.
Well, I guess you can't think about it all the time because then it would drive you crazy.
Yeah,
so
and
you just kind of
maybe that's why
push it back.
It's like a defensive mechanism.
Yeah.
And this is why grief comes in waves, because I will literally forget, because it's just in my head it's not something that could be real. So I will go about my life and forget, and then I'll see like one little thing. We were talking the other day, like seeing someone like picking flowers.
Yeah, there's always like something little or small that reminds you of that person. You're like, oh.
And then it's literally like it just happened.
Yeah.
And I need to cry immediately and go home and cry for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
but that was it was a very, I feel like that event kind of shifted a lot in the year.
Yeah.
For how maybe it would have gone otherwise. Because it changed me a lot, and you probably as well.
Yeah.
And maybe our whole family really.
And as well for me, because I just moved.
Yeah, that was hard for you as well, not being here.
Yeah, like again, with the delayed emotional processing, I was like super stressed and depressed for like 3 months, and I didn't know why.
Yeah.
And it took me so long to realize. Like, I remember one day I was talking to my friend and I was just like crying, and I was like, I don't know why I'm crying. And then she was like, maybe you're just like, you're adjusting, you've been through a lot. And then I just was like, I miss my mom. Like, I think I just really miss my mom, and I need to talk to my mom like now.
Yeah.
Because this is something that comes with ADHD. Normally it's like out of sight, out of mind. So it takes a lot for me to miss people. So if you're someone that I miss, like that's crazy. Like actually crazy. But normally it's like, unless I'm specifically speaking with you or we got something coming up, I just get stuck in my own little world. And I have the emotion that's connected with missing someone, but I don't make the connection.
No.
So I'll be like, why am I sad?
Yeah.
I don't know why I feel sad. And then I'll journal and realize, I actually miss people. But yeah, so before I left, I was kind of reflecting on family and the fact that I was going to be so far away and what that would mean. And then to lose Nonna, what was it, like 3 months after I left? 2.5 months after I left. It was horrific.
Yeah.
But
also, we always talk about, there's a lot of things that happen between us actually that are like divine timing, I always think. Yeah. And you stayed at Nonna's for, was it a month that you lived there for?
Longer than that.
Or longer, in between basically moving countries. That's such a magical thing to have, that you got to spend that time with her. Like, life only ever makes sense in reverse. Like, you can only connect the dots in reverse. And so, like, when you're looking at things or when you're in the middle of something, you're like, it doesn't make sense because it just will never make sense to you. But then when you look back, you're like, oh, okay.
And you realise there were things you should be grateful for as well.
Exactly. I actually wanted to talk about the timing of her death.
Yeah.
As well, because that was crazy. So Nonna was very religious, and she loved, Easter was her favourite holiday ever. Like, she always, as kids, I remember going around to her house, she'd do Easter egg hunts in the garden sometimes for us.
And hard-boiled eggs.
Would we paint them?
Yeah.
Or no? I feel like that's actually a Greek thing, but I don't know.
But we took it over.
Our Nonna also grew up around a lot of Greek people, so she mixed Greek and Italian traditions, and we just grew up thinking they were all Italian, and it's only until like later on in life I was like, wait, this is Greek. I had no idea. And then, so she died on the Wait, what was the actual
Was it
date?
Good Friday, or was it?
I think it was Good Friday. It was definitely Easter weekend. She said there was something in like religion that happened at 3 p.m.
The gates open.
The gates open. Yeah, there's something that happened. I'm not a religious person really, so I don't actually really know what it was exactly. So she said that something will happen at 3 p.m. The gates will open on Good Friday, and she literally died around 3 p.m. didn't she? Which was also crazy. And then what's even crazier is that the Pope then died the next day. Literally the next day after
Trust
he
her
died.
to die with the Pope.
I know, yeah.
She was genuinely, if there is such thing as saints today,
Yeah.
like she's a saint.
But with her whole passing, it really just made me think about life in a much deeper way, and I just kind of wanted to live life fuller, if that made sense. It made me realise, logically I knew that no one's going to be here forever, but it really sunk into my brain that was like, we're not going to be here forever, including ourselves. So I was like, okay, so I need to do stuff. I want to live a life that like I can look back on and be proud of. And so yeah, it shifted a lot.
One sentence I remember writing in my journal when I was like 7 or 8, and I wrote down in my journal, when I'm older, I'm going to make sure my life is interesting. It's going to be like a story.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's good or bad. I just want to have a story to tell. And I know that was like such a childish thing to say, but I feel like there's a sentiment to that still rings true for me, which is if I am not like actively, presently in the moment, challenging myself and doing things that bring me joy, what is the point? Like literally, what is the point?
Yeah.
The one time I feel like I was truly happy, like the first time I found like true happiness was when I stopped listening to everybody else and dropped out of uni and went and was like crazy for a few years.
Yeah.
And when I'm not doing things like that, when I get in like too much of a routine and everything becomes autopilot, time just disappears.
Yeah. It's really funny
scary.
because I feel like I'm similar in some ways. I don't love routine. Like when I have too much routine, I feel really stuck and trapped by it. But then at the same time, I actually need routine to function, because if I also have no routine at all,
You need like an
I'm
irregular
just like,
routine.
yeah, I need like a loose structure, basically, is what I need. Which is, I think that's mainly why I became a freelance yoga teacher, like self-employed as well, because I could not deal with the hours at work. I know, it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's been a very much a figuring out kind of.
This year has felt like, it feels like someone's hit a reset button this year.
Yeah.
I feel like all of my priorities coming into this year are completely different from my priorities last year.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like I was so business minded before. Like I still obviously want to run my business and very much like passionate about it. But I feel like before my blinkers were on and I was just like, just need to run this business and go with the business and do this and do that. And now like I've got like the parameters and I'm like, actually, there's so much other stuff in life that I can enjoy, and stuff that I've missed out on over the years because I've been so focused on work. Like I haven't, which is why the artist dates were so like useful to me, because I was like, I've done stuff last year that I haven't done for so many years. Go to pottery classes. I can't remember the last time I did a pottery class. And I actually loved that when I was a kid. I loved creating pottery. I went to a heels dancing class, which took me like 4 weeks to book because I was so scared to actually do it. But then I got there and I was like, this is so fun. And like doing stuff just for fun is so, what's the word?
Oh, I know what you're trying to say. It's just like an enlightened way to live your life, honestly.
Yeah.
It's freeing.
It's freeing, it is, yeah.
Because, yeah, as you get to a certain age and you start feeling like if there's no, like, purpose or goal to the thing that I'm doing, it feels like a waste of time.
Yeah, I really struggle with things that don't have a purpose. I think it's almost been built into us. I don't know if it's, like, the way we've grown up, us two, or if it's the society that we've grown up in, but I always feel like I need, like, something has to have a purpose, or I need to be working towards a bigger picture and a bigger goal, and it's like, I find it quite hard to make myself do the things where like there's no outcome. But then when I actually do them, I love it. And I'm like, this is amazing. You're just like in flow and playing
But you know
whatever.
what's crazy about that is like, we do all still do plenty of stuff with no outcome. It's just that we go for the easiest thing now with the dopamine hit. We sit and scroll on our phones.
Yeah.
There is no point to that.
Yeah.
There is no point to me, like, almost every evening after work when I'm tired, I will literally sit on the couch, put on Bob's Burgers, play Solitaire Associations on my phone while watching a TikTok live in the corner. That is like, that's a waste of time. There's no purpose to that, but I feel like because there's no thought involved, because there's no effort involved, it feels worth it, or it feels helpful. Whereas if I put in like a tiny bit of effort to actually plan actual relaxing time for myself, where I detach from screens and noise and everybody's opinions and actually like quiet down, that would be... I remember there was one evening, this was not long after Nonna had died, and I was in a really like bad way, and I was also, I mean I still am extremely burnt out, and I got back from the office and I was super tired, and all I wanted to do was sit on the couch. And I forgot I'd ordered Chef's Plate, which is like HelloFresh.
Oh, right.
So I had a bunch of ingredients and I had to cook them. And I was like, no! Like, God forbid I have to stand in the kitchen and cook. Like, I didn't want to be alone with my thoughts. And I knew if I sat down, that would be the end, and I'd end up throwing everything away.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, I'm going to try and go for a run. And it was a sunny day, and I lived in Kits then, so it was really like beach town vibes, so pretty. And I ran along the water, and I felt so like calm when I got back. I was like, oh wow, like I actually feel like I don't need to sit down and scroll on my phone now. I think I can cook. And then the cooking wasn't even tiring. Like that was calming. Like just standing by myself in a kitchen, just chopping and like it was just doing something physical while your brain has time to process the day is, I mean, they do that in therapy. That's pretty much like what, is it EMDR? When like your eyes are moving. Like there's something to distract your body so that your brain can just, like, process. Yeah. And I lack that in like daily life.
It's hard. It is hard to do. I feel like I always get that when I'm doing like mundane activities, like when I'm cleaning.
Yeah.
When I'm cleaning the house, I'm just like, so I come up with my best ideas when I'm cleaning the house, I think. And I get so in the zone, like I'll put some music on and and also it feels good to just like have the space nice as well.
Yeah.
But it's like, it gets you into, I guess it's like flow state, isn't it? Which is basically what you do when you're doing stuff for fun.
Yeah. And
not for a goal.
That's the other thing I need to figure out is what I actually want to do. Which is the other reason I want to do the honest way.
Yeah.
Is to figure out, one, what makes me happy, and two, how can I remodel my life?
Yeah.
So that my goals are aligned with what actually, what I actually want to do, and not just where everyone thinks that I should go. Because I look at you, like for example, I know you like, you still struggle with obviously whatever you're doing, you're going to struggle, but you're doing something creative, which I feel like has been missing from my life since I was a kid. Like,
I feel like you're such a creative person as well. Like there's so many things that you do. Like you love writing, you love acting, and like they're all creative things. And sometimes it's just like, it's hard to like, it's scary to leave behind a stable job to go into something different. Like it is really scary. Yeah. And like I actually think I would have really struggled going from a corporate job into something creative if I had been in a corporate job long enough to settle. But I literally wasn't in it long enough to settle because I had like 5 jobs in the space of about 5 months. Wow. And I kept quitting because I was like, no, I can't do this. Literally 5 jobs. It was so bad.
Like what?
Like they're all receptionist admin jobs. Yeah. But one of them was at what are they called? Like a salesy type jobs and stuff like that, which I'm not really a sales person. And then they were all just really random. Like I was a receptionist at a building site company. Yeah. But a lot of them, they weren't hard jobs. They were just like, they'd give me one task to do in the day, which was like to transfer something into Excel, and that'd be my whole task for the day. It'd take me 10 minutes, and I'd be like, okay. So I actually just used to watch Netflix at reception.
That's pretty cool job.
Else. Which is not, it sounds good, and it was good for the first like maybe week or so, and then I was like, I'm just bored. I need to feel like I'm doing something. Yeah. If I feel like I'm not purposeful or like doing anything, I really struggle as you're older.
When you said like you're lucky you didn't get like settled in corporate, that's exactly the problem. Yeah. Like that, and I said this when I got my first developer job, like 5 years ago. I remember saying, I don't want to get stuck on the rat race. Yeah. This is a temporary thing while I work on my acting, like on the side, and then I'll quit when I can. And then what happened was trying to do 2 things at once was so stressful that I literally like broke my jaw and needed like 2 surgeries because I was so stressed. Like literally stress, we all just dismiss. We're like push through, and then your body just breaks, and it's like, okay, now it's a physical problem. Yeah. Like now I physically can't keep pushing through. And at that point I had moved out, so I had to give up one of these things, and it couldn't be the thing that was my income. Yeah. So I had to just focus on my job, and it was okay for a while, and then I just started feeling so unfulfilled. Yeah. Like, it's fine, I have money, this is nice, I've never had money before, I've never been able to rent a place before, that's great, but I felt like there was this weird feeling of the day would just happen, and then I felt like as I went to bed, I suddenly would become conscious. It was like every night I would get into bed in the same way, and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm here again. Like it's been another day of the same thing, and I'm here again. And it scared the crap out of me. Yeah. And it just felt like I was going to waste my whole life that way. So moving to Canada was partly trying to shake myself out of that. And now I'm in another dev job. Like, why? Why am I here? A big part of me, I hope no one I work with ever watches this. Good things that came out of it. I'm glad that I have some savings now.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I got to live in Camden.
Yeah.
Because that was cool.
Yeah.
And I've met some great people, so it definitely wasn't like all wasted.
Yeah.
But honestly, I do feel like I've spent the last 5 years just getting up and going to work and hating what I do, which is so depressing.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
But then again, like that thing I said earlier, I feel like everything always makes sense in reverse. So like you'll get to where you want to be, and I really do feel like this year is going to be the year that changes a lot.
It has to be.
I do think it is.
I need it to be.
I really do think it is. But I think you'll look back and then you'll understand what it taught you. Because you'll probably pick things out of it that you then use in a new career or a new direction, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I learned that from that. So like, maybe because I feel like you can find value in everything, even the things that like are awful in the moment.
For sure,
you can find value when you look back at it retrospectively.
Like some of my worst experiences, I still look back and I'm like, I wouldn't change that now.
Yeah.
There was a time I feel like up until I was like early 20s, I was like so depressed, and I was just like, everything's awful, and I wish none of this had ever happened. And if one thing had been different, it could have all been different. And then when I dropped out of uni and went traveling and had like a really great experience, I suddenly was like, I'm really glad that everything worked out the way it did. I'm glad I went through what I did because it made me a certain kind of person. And this isn't me being like, oh, trauma made me stronger. Like it didn't, it messed me up. But it meant that I was like able to connect with people in ways that I couldn't have otherwise. Definitely. And I have like, I'm made the best friends, like lifetime friends. And now I wouldn't change anything about the period before that. So
same, like when I look back at like I think it was a teenagehood, we both kind of struggled a lot in teenagehood. Maybe you more than me, I'm not sure, but like
I don't know, I feel like we were
both kind of in it. It was different things.
but it was a parallel experience.
And I feel like when you're just hormonal and like crazy, I feel like I switched off to the world. I was a very internally angry teenager. Like I wouldn't shout and scream, but like I was very internally angry at the whole world. And then got picked on a little bit at school, and just like that kind of emphasized everything. And when you're a teenager, like obviously one, everything is embarrassing when you're a teenager, literally everything. And then two, you're just like, you take everything personally. And like, even if someone had said something to me that I didn't believe was true, I'd take it personally.
And I bet it still keeps you up at night now, because I still think of and I'm like, even in primary school, sometimes I think back to someone when I was like 7, some kid said something to me. And I'm up at night thinking, I feel awful thinking about that. And I'm like, that was a 7-year-old kid. Who cares? Like, but my inner child was like,
well, you hold it, you hold on to it, and you start internalizing those things when you're a kid. And like, actually, that's one of the tasks in the first week of the book, is to come up with 3 monsters, they say, or like 3 people that maybe said something to you when you were a kid that you might have brought forwards with you. There's one when I was a kid where I think I was in year 5 or year 6. So like, how old are you in year 5 or 6? 9 or 10. And like the way that I remember this like memory is so clear, and I was only like 9 or 10, and this one sentence that a teacher said to me I carried through for my like entire adulthood life, which just shows how much teachers impact young kids and how important it is to like have good teachers and teachers that actually like children, which I feel like was quite rare.
Genuinely, I think back, I'm like, why were they allowed to teach us?
But I had one teacher who, she was a maths teacher, and like I think she sat us all down. It was, I was with the whole, I don't know if it was with the whole year or like my whole class anyway, which was like 30 people, it was a lot of people. And she was asking us questions. Well, I'm not good at maths. I do not have a maths brain, so like I really struggle with that anyway. And she asked a question. I didn't put my hand up to answer it because I obviously didn't know the answer, and she just picked me and she was like, you stand up. And I had to stand up in front of the whole class, and I kind of like, I just didn't say anything, like I couldn't get any words out because I was like, I don't know the answer, and I don't know how to make up an answer right now because I literally don't know. And she got really angry at me for not knowing the answer, told me to sit down and told me I was a waste of space. Literally, she was like, you're such a waste of space, sit down. And like, I literally sat, and I remember sitting there cross-legged, and like, I couldn't even hear anything else that like anyone else, like that she was saying. I was just like, I'm a waste of space, I'm a waste of space.
That's traumatizing.
And because you're so young, like I just took that on, and I was like, oh, okay, my opinion doesn't matter, what I think doesn't matter. And I think I internalized that so much just from that one teacher saying that to me. And also it was so embarrassing because like she'd said it in front of the whole class. So it was like, it's not even like it was just said to me privately. I was like, now everybody thinks I'm stupid, everybody thinks I'm dumb, or like, you know, all that kind of stuff. And you take that with you. And like, even when I was writing this book, because I wrote it the other day, and I was like, why do I even still have that memory? Like, it obviously must have affected me a lot for me to remember it now, and I'm 30 now. And I really did carry that through with me, because I think that's why I struggled so much with confidence in my teenagehood. Like, I was very self-conscious about everything. I wasn't confident at all. I didn't think I was smart. And I think it's because like other outside sources had confirmed that to me, so then I just took that as truth.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm not that kind of person. And then I carried that through with me, and it took me so long to undo that.
When you're a kid, you're so moldable.
Yeah.
Everything about you is for most of your personality, and like your fears and the things that trigger you happen when you're a kid and when you're a teenager, when your brain is not like fully developed.
Yeah.
And you're extremely sensitive to the things around you.
Yeah.
Like one of my answers to that question is so stupid, but it literally still makes me so angry, because the emotion, even though you're old enough to logic it away, the emotion doesn't change, because the emotion was like solidified, and it's what we feel now is like the emotional memory, not a logical memory. I can tell you what mine was. This is the silliest one of mine, but it was like, it still makes me so angry. So I was in primary school, and our music teacher came in and was like, I'm going to do choir auditions. So anyone who wants to audition, like, come to the hall at like past whatever. So I went, and we all like sang something together. And then I thought he said, I'm going to sing this, and I want you to ignore what I'm singing, and I want you to sing this song in the tune of the song, like that song.
Right.
So I thought the task was, don't pay attention to him and just sing this completely different song while he's singing. It wasn't. And I watched everybody else go, and they were all changing the tune of their words to match his. And I was like, that's not what he said. None of you are going to get in. Like, you're all so dumb. And then he got to me, and I sang it the way I thought I was supposed to.
Yeah.
And I remember one boy was like, oh, Mr. Elm, and he was like, and like let me keep going through the whole song like that. Did not try to correct me or be like, that's not what I want you to do. And then afterwards, like, he literally said nothing. Afterwards, he came into the classroom and in front of everyone announced everyone who had made it into the choir, and it was everyone except me.
Oh.
And I was like, excuse me, I was the only one who did that task right. And then I realised I wasn't supposed to do that. I was supposed to do what everyone else did. And honestly, it makes me so angry. And sometimes I still have nightmares about being misunderstood. And I genuinely think that was one of the earliest memories of just like bad communication creating like a nightmare for me. Like it's such a dumb memory. But
it's funny how we hold on to stuff from childhood, and like sometimes when you like try and think of the memories, you can't think of them, but then they'll just come to you randomly, and you're like, whoa, why do I remember that still?
And I think this book makes you reflect as well.
It does. It makes you reflect a lot.
I mean, it literally made us reflect on those things, but even just, you know.
But this is also what made us closer as well, because every week that we did the Artist Way last year, we'd sit with each other and talk about it. And like, when would I have told you that story? Like, I wouldn't have just told you that story. I wouldn't know that story about you.
I've never said that story out loud.
Really?
That's the first time I've ever said it out loud.
I don't know if I, or maybe I have.
It feels a bit more stupid now, in a good way.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, is like sometimes you internalize so much stuff, and it feels so big in your head, and then you say it to someone and you're like, oh,
exactly,
it's kind of small actually.
There's that whole saying that like shame dies when you share your story. And it's so true, because it's like as soon as you share it, it's not a secret that you have to hold anymore. It's just like, it's just out there, and then that's it.
Did we mention the morning pages as well? Because that's another huge aspect.
Actually.
I feel like we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't do that. So the book also tells you to do morning pages, which means you have to write 3 pages every single morning. I actually do mine on a laptop. I know that you're not supposed to do that, but my handwriting gets really bad, and it puts me off journaling. So I was like, I'm gonna avoid that by doing it on my laptop. But that's been really eye-opening, because I never thought I was someone that could journal. Like I wasn't like good at it. I've tried it before, like I sat down and I'd write something and I'd be like, I don't know what to write, and then I'd just give up. But like this kind of basically just says like, even if you write, I don't know what to write, just keep going, and you realise how much internal chatter there is in your mind of just the most random stuff.
It's not about
it's all
trying
negative
to be good
as well.
It's just purging. It's the point is to word vomit on a page. And she literally says that you'll notice how negative the mind is just naturally, and I think it's actually like it's built into us as humans, because when we were like cavemen, we had to pick out the negative. Cave women, yes, we had to pick out the negative in the environment, because we literally had to survive, and like if you're not looking for, you know, the scary things happening, then you're gonna die. But we've brought that with us, and now we're not like in immediate threat of a
tiger.
Yeah.
But we still do the same thing, and like it makes you separate yourself from it as well.
It makes you reflect on your thoughts in a logical way.
Yeah.
As soon as they're on a page, you take the emotion. It's not that you take the emotion out.
Yeah.
But when you're thinking through a concept in your head, it's easy to lean into the emotional side of it. So if I think about that memory just in my head, I just feel awful.
Yeah.
Like it just gives me the same sick feeling that I had when I was a kid. Whereas if I write it down or say it, it's like, okay, it doesn't feel like as big, like a monster now.
Yeah.
Like I used to journal like crazy when I was
a
teenager. Like I was obsessed with journaling, and I don't know why I started. I was going through so much, and I didn't have any other outlet. So I would come home after school every day and go sit in my room and lock the door and sit in there for hours and just fill like notebook after notebook.
Did you like writing before you started the journaling or not? Because I know you enjoy writing books and stuff now.
As a kid, I did.
Or did it come from the journey?
I don't know. I've always liked writing as a process.
Yeah.
To just like make sense of my thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of why I wanted to write an actual book.
That's why I like it. The morning pages now. Like it took me a while to get there, but we're there now with the book, and I actually really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Shall we do our midnight question?
Yes.
So I have these really fun cards. They're called self-reflection cards. They just have random self-reflection questions on them. I picked a bunch, so we'll just see what questions. But I think should we both answer them?
Yes.
Okay. You pick one and then I'll pick one. Wait, this is so bad. Why can't I do this? I like your nails.
Thank you. I'm bad to this one.
Okay.
Okay. What's become more important to me recently than ever before?
That's a good one. I think it is actually like doing stuff for enjoyment, like doing the artist dates and things, and actually like doing more hobbies. I don't think I had many. I mean, because I was so focused on work, I kind of just forgot about all my hobbies, and I now see the value in doing things for fun, and I think that's become more important to me because I feel like it makes you into who you are. And like doing those things, even though they don't have a goal or whatever, an outcome, it like adds to your personality. It gives you something, and it gives you an outlet, a creative outlet. And I feel like that's become more important to me because I don't think I valued it as much in the last like 5-10 years or however long. But yeah, I think that's what I would say. What about you?
Honestly, self-care. Because last year there were whenever my mental health declines, my physical health is like right there waiting to deteriorate as well. And as a part of that, just like slowing down, because I think I just always kind of felt a bit invincible, or like I'm just like go all the time, to the point where like if I'm walking towards a traffic light, like I'm trying to judge my walking speed so I won't have to wait. Like genuinely. And I get so there's like nothing more frustrating than getting there just as the light changes and I have to stand there and wait.
That's a
my
good one.
thing is just trying to just, one, be happier in general, but two, sometimes just do nothing. Let myself do nothing. Let myself miss a green walking man and have to wait for 10 seconds and actually be alone with my thoughts for a minute.
I like that.
That's my
I
thing.
like that.
Yeah.
Should we do one more?
You'll go. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Me. You can pick.
You pick this one. Ooh. What am I putting off that feels important, and why am I avoiding it?
Quitting my job. It feels like I have to do it.
Yeah?
I feel like I've been saying it for so long, and I'm almost like waiting for it to get so bad that I can quit in a rage instead, because that will be easier than having to actively make a decision to just like go in on a normal calm day and be like, no, I'm going to put myself first and leave, because and the reason I'm putting it off is money.
Yeah.
But I know at the same time I can't do this forever. So at some point I have to stop. Why not now when I'm in Canada and have like more opportunities than I ever have before?
I like that.
What's yours?
What am I putting off that feels important? I actually think, considering my job is in wellness and self-care and stuff like that, I feel like I put off doing it myself. Like I feel really good when I have a regular schedule, going to the gym and go to regular yoga classes and like actually look after my own body like that. But I do feel like I have been avoiding it a little bit, just because I don't know. I mean, I don't really know. I feel like the reason is kind of just like I've been distracted with other stuff, and I don't always put the importance on myself. Like I tend to give to others first before I give back to myself, which is probably why I'm in the job that I'm in. But I feel like I do that a lot, and I don't always put myself first. I feel like I've been putting myself first.
I think it's like good to change your mindset to like if it's easier for you to like do something if you think you're doing it for others, to be like, well, you'll do a better job being there for other people if you show up for yourself first.
And it's weird because I was actually I googled a random thing the other day, but have you heard of parallel play before?
No.
So it's actually a term that they use in psychology with kids, but you can use it as adults as well. It's when like two people are in the same room, but they'll be in their own worlds doing their own thing, playing, but just next to each other. And I struggle with that so much. Like if I am in the same room with someone, I can't do my own thing. I'm so focused on what they're doing. And I think it is kind of like I don't know if it's like an empathetic thing or just like, I just don't know. I can't put myself first in any way in that. I really struggle with it. And when I think back, like even when I was at uni, as the people that I lived with, we used to try and go to the library and study together. I found it so hard that I would always end up leaving, and I couldn't just sit and do my own thing near people. If I need to get in my own head, I have to be alone to get there.
Do you think part
I
of
can't.
it is just like being distracted because I guess being an empath as well.
I'm constantly like scanning and seeing what other people are feeling rather than just like getting into my own zone and doing it. And even at uni I just couldn't.
Were you a bit of a mediator as well as a kid?
Definitely, I was always in the middle of conflicts and like trying to figure it out.
I think that's your brain like in survival mode. Like that. Maybe.
Yeah, that's just something interesting, and maybe that relates to what I'm putting off. I'm putting off like doing my own, like just doing stuff for me. Like I really struggle with.
You should
that.
Journal about that.
I should journal about that.
Yeah.
But yeah. This has been really fun.
I know.
I have no idea what time it is or how long this podcast has been.
Me neither. I have no sense of time.
I don't know.
So did that camera turn off?
Yeah, that one did too. But this has been really fun.
Yeah.
And we're definitely going to do more of these in the future.
We literally didn't really plan beyond
anything.
we want it to be called something nostalgic.
Yeah.
And we want to just sit on the floor and
because this is what we did as kids.
We normally do.
When we had sleepovers, we would just sit and we would talk and we would put the world to rights just by like chatting about stuff. And so we were like, let's just do this as adults. We do it anyway on FaceTime, so we may as well have a cute setup and eat a cute snack. So yay! I don't know how we do an outro here, but
cheers!